Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of the Nerd a Day podcast. I'm one of your hosts. Actually, I am just your host. Your doctor recommended dose of nerdiness. I said one of your hosts because I was supposed to have a co-host, but unfortunately they had to bail at the last minute because due to some family emergency. So shout out to Rest Pass. He is my partner in crime over at Apron Work podcast, which we'll have an episode this week talking about AEW Collision, the CM Punk controversy around it yet again. And as well, we'll be touching on All In. But that is for our wrestling fans, which, you know, if you're here, I wonder what we're talking about today. We're talking about, oh, the mic's in the way. Can't see my shirt. There it is. There it is. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, my non-binary folk out there. If you don't know, I am a massive wrestling fan. Huge. Literally huge wrestling fan my whole life. I love professional wrestling. Is one of my favorite things to watch. Have a lot of family ties to it, which and a lot of my favorite memories are tied with that. Like my mom's partner taking me, you know, my godfather taking me, and things like that. Big fan. And now I also have a wrestling podcast. I started one a while ago called The Entrance Ramp. You know, we're no longer together. I mean, we talk to each other every day, but as a podcast, we're not together. And then I joined up with Apron Work Podcast, the best wrestling podcast in Philadelphia. Don't look up those metrics. It just is. With Rest Pass, my partner in crime. We just, like I said, just finished that AEW Collision episode. But yeah, man, I'm a huge wrestling fan, and today's a good day. Today's a good day, especially if you're an all elite wrestling fan like I am. They have a lot on their plate this coming summer. Multiple, like 5 pay-per-views Tony Khan's going to be running and stuff like that, which we talked about and kind of and flabbergasted about. But we also have the launch of a brand new video game in the wrestling space. But before we get into that, into the episode proper, I want to give a shout out to my patrons. That's right. You can support me over at patreon.com/nerdaday. Like Rest Pass, as I mentioned, my partner in crime over at Apron Work Podcast. If you're liking this episode, me talking poetic about AEW, check out Wrestling Podcast. Like I said, down below the YouTube link. We're also on audio podcast. Check us out. And then we also have Brandon, brother from another mother, Susan, Jeff, hopefully also Matt and Maggie. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for supporting me. But let's get into the episode proper. So, this has been teased for a while. It seems like it's been, I don't want to say development hell, because it seems like it's been developed and done for a good bit. Marketing materials were done. And then last week we got some news that, you know, XFA's, if you guys don't know, it's like a tracking for achievements and trophies on different platforms, you know, Xbox and Steam and things like that. All the achievements / trophies were leaked for AEW Fight Forever. So it seemed like imminent that we were going to get there. You can also preload it if you had an Xbox account, some way, shape, or form. I don't know how. I didn't try it. I don't want to. I want to buy the game proper. Or, what's up, THQ? What's up? My name's Carlos. How are you? Your doctor recommended dose of nerdiness. What's up? But yeah, so we wanted to get into that, and it seemed like likely we were going to get an announcement of the trailer, the release date, things of that nature. And here we are. It is, as of this recording, May 22nd, 2023, the year of our Lord and Savior, Kenny Omega. And we have now confirmation that we are going to get AEW Fight Forever June 29th on PlayStation 4, Xbox One consoles, and Switch, as well as the current gen models of PS5 and the Xbox Series consoles, as well as PC. So I got the press release. We're going to go through that, and then we'll watch a little recap video and kind of talk about, you know, our hopes and dreams for what we have for AEW. So let's start over here. I'm going to just tring in. So I'll just put this over here. So the press release goes as arcade wrestling game fans rejoice. It's almost time to climb the ladder and make yourself famous. THQ Nordic, GmbH, and All Elite Wrestling today confirmed that they will bring developer Yukes' highly anticipated arcade wrestling creation AEW Fight Forever to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Nintendo Switch on Thursday, June 29th, 2023. Here's a quote from Tony Khan. I'm sorry, from Kenny Omega. When I first signed with AEW, Tony Khan gave me an opportunity to assemble the best gaming team that understands and respects professional wrestling to make the best wrestling game ever, said Kenny Omega, Executive Vice President and former AEW World Champion and World Tag Team Champion and World Trios Champion at AEW. Thanks to our incredible collaboration with Gata, who was the previous director on like games like WWF No Mercy, WCW NWO, Render, was that the name of that game? As well as like some of the SmackDown games for Yukes and stuff. Yukes and THQ Nordic all have teamed up. A new era of professional wrestling game is quickly approaching. AEW Fight Forever has exceeded my highest expectations, and I'm confident that June 29th will be a momentous day for wrestling fans and gamers alike. And then this is from Tony Khan. Since our initial announcement, fans worldwide have shown unbridled passion for the launch of Fight Forever. And AEW has proven through our exciting storylines and hard-hitting wrestling action that good things come to those who wait, said Tony Khan, CEO, GM, and head of creative of AEW. With Fight Forever, Kenny and our world-class team have delivered an authentic, nostalgic feel of wrestling games past, along with the unmatched creativity that AEW brings to the table. It's going to be cool to see our fans finally get a fresh and much-needed alternative next-gen console wrestling game on June 29th. AEW has the greatest fans on the planet, and I'm excited for them to experience this new way to engage with our stars. And then there's a little blurb here. Recognized for its retro approach to design, including handcrafted animations and nostalgic arcade feel, AEW Fight Forever presents wrestling fans with their first chance to pull out wrestling moves only seen in the wildly popular AEW programming. Online co-op wrestling is going to completely next level with tag matches that feature sequences and team maneuvers performed with simple commands. A long roster of most popular AEW wrestlers, career mode, wrestler customization, signature AEW arenas, multiple match types, and even some good old-fashioned unsanctioned fun await. So yeah, that's the press release right there. And then we also, I want to go into some of the content that was sent to me, over from the press release from THQ Nordic. Shout out to THQ Nordic, by the way, sending me that press release. It's like you guys know. So content about AEW Fight Forever. So it features match types, single matches, tag team, 3-way, 4-way, ladder matches. The Casino Battle Royale will be featured. Falls Count Anywhere. Unsanctioned Lights Out match, which allows the use of weapons in that match. Exploding barbed wire death matches. What? Hopefully it doesn't have an explosion at the end that fizzles out. Like when Kenny Omega wrestled Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston came out to help, Moxley, and it was nothing. They played it off really well, I will say. Eddie saying his PTSD from living in the hood and he wanted to help his best friend. They pivoted really well. But that was really sad for them when that happened. Oh, anyway, yeah, so career mode, wide range of customization modes, including custom wrestlers, attire and appearance, custom movesets, custom entrances, custom teams, custom arenas, online multiplayer leaderboards as well. So that is that. I don't know if we have the full roster yet. What's going to be released? I think at the time there was rumors that we were not going to get FTR, which is a shame. That is a shame that we're not going to get FTR. I'm not sure who else we're going to get. I think, for the longest time, they said Cody was going to be part of the game, but it's even been longer since that was confirmed. So I don't know if we'll actually get Cody still in the game. That'd be interesting if we get WWE 2K23 and AEW Fight Forever with Cody Rhodes in both of them, because I'm going to make Cody Rhodes Universal Champion. And like I did, actually, you can check that video down below on my YouTube. But as well, I'll make him AEW World Champion. Like he should have been. He should have been AEW World Champion. He should never put that clause on his own contract. That was weird. I digress. He was a great TNT champion. So this is an interesting place we're going to be. There's no announcement of DLC. Not too much shown of some of the leaks, so I won't go into. I mean, like, we haven't seen the exploding death. I think you can see snippets in some trailers of the exploding barbed wire death match, but not too much. There's going to be blood, obviously. We have confirmation on the rating. I think that was one of the biggest ones that was an issue. So it's rated T for blood, violence, language, mildly suggestive themes, use of alcohol and tobacco as well. The other thing I wanted to mention with AEW too is the use of licensed music. We're obviously gonna have CM Punk in the game, so are we gonna get Cult of Personality? Moxley has Wild Thing. Are we gonna get that? Jungle Boy has, Tarzan Man from Baltimore. Like, are we gonna get those songs as well, featured alongside all the regular AEW themes? Pardon me, my allergies are acting up. So I'm really interesting. I love seeing this press release. It's been a long time coming. I think for a lot of us wrestling fans, we assumed we would have got this already. And I know this is their first game, and I'm not bemoaning them. I think it takes a long time. You want to make sure you get this right out of the gate. I don't think you can mess this up. I think this is one that you can't mess up at all. This needs to be a hit for AEW. Like a lot of things, unfortunately, with AEW, right? Since they're a newer company, there's a lot of scrutiny, especially from wrestling fans, and the like that they have to, make sure they hit at every given time and things like that. I've mentioned it on Apron Work podcast, our wrestling podcast. Like, you can't miss. Literally, the episode that will probably be coming out tomorrow, Wednesday, for Apron Work, I'm mentioning how difficult it could be we have like 5 pay-per-views that Tony Khan is going to be having with, we have Double or Nothing this weekend. We have an ROH show sometime in July, Forbidden Door in June, All In August, All Out the week after. Nearly 2 pay-per-views in a week. Like, that's going to be insane. As well with the launch of a new show, Collision, and whatever backstage politics stuff that has been going on. Not to also mention he's booking all these shows, and he has he works for the Jacksonville Jaguars because his family owns that, and Fulham FC over in England. Like, that is just so much for one man to take, and a lot of scrutiny. A lot of us are like, hey man, you can't miss. Hey man, you can't miss. It's going to be interesting to see how this summer plays out. I have very high hopes for Fight Forever. I think there is a large consortium of fans of professional wrestling and fans of video games that want this to hit, right? We need this to hit. I can say, I know obviously we're talking about AEW. I am a big fan of the idea of where they're going, right? Kenny mentions in the video, which I will play in a moment and react to that as well, that it's simple to play, but hard to master, right? You can easily get into the game, get the flow of the game, simple controls, not anything too crazy, as opposed to WWE, where it's more now a sim type, right? We're now no longer in the SmackDown era, Here Comes the Pain, or No Mercy, even to that extent. That far back as well. Like, we're not in that era anymore, so we're in an era that is more simulation, especially with how 2K plays, right? It almost makes sense that WWE's with 2K games. How you have ESPN, oh, not ESPN, pardon, oh my god, that was such a long time ago. ESPN football, what a game. That was a good NFL. That was a good game, guys. Whew. I think McNabb was on the cover of that, right? Or T.O. Banger game. That's what, $20 too. God, miss those days. But no, with 2K, you have NBA 2K22 or 23, pardon me, and those games. WWE 2K makes sense of how it's presented, how it plays. I know in these last 2 years, especially with the reception of 2K19, 2K's kind of been getting back into like a healthier balance, I could say. There will be a review for that, but we're talking about AEW. I think AEW is going to come in at a sweet spot. I think a lot of people will want it for like Game Pass so they can try it out. It's not going to launch with Game Pass unless something changes. Obviously, Summer Games Fest is going to be launching soon unless there's some kind of surprise there from Xbox. I doubt it though, and I'm okay with that. I think $60 is a good game, a good price for the game. I am interested again about the roster though, because we're having Adam Cole, Bebe, but we're not having someone like FTR. At least it's been rumored. I don't know what the confirmation is, and we've also had some more development time since then. Since the game has been announced, and those stories have come out that like FTR's not in the game, this person's not in the game, this person's not in the game, but this person is, and this person is. Like, it's going to be really interesting. And one of the things I kind of hope for AEW Fight Forever is that we have a platform. I don't need a yearly release. I would love to have a platform not too dissimilar from like Overwatch or Smash Brothers Ultimate, right? Where this is the ultimate fighting, or the ultimate wrestling game experience, and you just build upon it. Like, you get the mechanics fully down, especially with Gata working on them, right? You get something similar to old school, but now with a new school feel, like Def Jam, Here Comes the Pain, No Mercy, that kind of era, like a new evolution of what those are, or were, pardon me. You get that as a fundamental thing, and then have DLC where you get, Keith Lee and Swerve, and you get, let's say, the Embassy, or you get, I don't know, you get like different like costume packs. Maybe you get Adam Page with the eye patch that he just had last week at Dynamite when he rejoined the Elite. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how we go. This is going to be the first game, and I think we have to give them a little leeway, right? Again, a lot of us have been very vocal and critical of AEW, right? Because they are firing on all cylinders for a lot of things, right? Storylines, some of them have been great. When you get to, let's say, more recently, the Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite, I think that's one of the best storylines we've had this year. It's pretty good. But when you have, let's say, the opposite of that for me, which I mentioned in our Apron Work podcast episode, the Four Pillars match, with MJF versus Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara and then versus Jungle Boy, Jack Perry. How we've gotten there is not pleasing. So, and I know a lot of us can be very critical, and I think we have to give them a little leeway with stuff, but like I said, this is their first game. We're like year, 3, 4 into AEW proper. It's right to have some criticisms currently where the product could be, like that. A Four Pillars match for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship makes sense. How we're getting there does not, and I don't agree with how we've built up that. But that's besides the point. That's actual, the product that we're watching. For the game, I'm going to have to give, I think we should all give it a little leeway to see if there's any bugs, anything little like that. But we've also had time to develop. This is their first outing. I mean, Gata hasn't made a wrestling game in God knows how long. I mean, like, Kenny personally went up to Gata to, request that he work on this game. And now we have that. So I think we are in for a treat. But at the same time, we can't hold them on too high of a pedestal, like a lot of us do with AEW in general. So, with that out the way, all those criticisms and concerns aside, let's transition over here. We're gonna watch this trailer. It's very short, by the way, but we'll watch it real quick with AEW.
Howdy, folks. Kenny Omega here for AEW and AEW Games.
First of all, fucking handsome. God damn.
Quite some time ago,
Cleaner. So here we go. So and you can kind of see. I want to see something here. So you can see AEW's third world champion, the Cleaner, Kenny Omega. It has his Twitter handle, similar to what WWE does with theirs, and his single record.
Our first foray into the video game world, AEW Fight Forever. We wanted to develop an arcade experience that was fun, easy to pick up and play, but difficult to master. We believe that AEW and our partners with Yukes have created just that experience. And finally, I'm happy to announce that we are ready to announce a release date. So, for Nintendo Switch, PS4, 5, Xbox, and PC, you can finally get your hands on AEW Fight Forever on June 29th.
Yep.
Get your copy now, pre-download, pre-order. Thank you so much for your patience in being awesome fans, and I hope to see you guys online in the game. Until then, I must bid you adieu, goodbye, mwah, and good night, bye-bye.
I always love that outro. I always absolutely love that outro. So yeah, I wanna replay that and kind of touch on some of the things that we see here. So there's Kenny Omega shirtless. Nice. I know people are still not sold on the art style. I don't mind it. Like, we want that arcade field. But I will say what I love about Kenny's entrance specifically. I don't know if this is like you can only do this if it's a heel. Him coming out with the women, the sweepers, the cleaners. I love that. I don't know. That was such a stupid thing he was doing when he was a heel, and I love it so much. I do love that. So I hope that kind of is maybe that's a special heel interest. I'm not sure. Um, I wanna build. Ooh, went too far. I did the best bout machine. I didn't even notice that. It also says the best bout machine. I wanted to build on this because some of the hit detection that we're seeing here is very more polished. Very more polished. Pardon me. More polished than I have seen in previous trailers. I know this is again just a look. This is not like, you know. Hopefully this is the final product, but it seems very like a lot of the hit detection, a lot of the movement, obviously arcadey and a little, you know, more exaggerated than it would be in the real world, right? But I kind of love. It seems like the physics are a lot better than we got. I do want to know what this black ring is. I don't know if you. I'm pointing at my screen like y'all can see my finger. this black ring right here. I'm like, well, I do want to know what that means. Is that indicative of like a super move? Obviously, that's the one-winged angel. That's his finisher. Also, I don't need the crowd to look. Wait, it's fine. They look like action figures playing with each other. You know, like almost the LJN action figures to a certain degree, and like this too. Like the physics of Kenny doing this not springboard, this top rope, like plancha, like that's not plancha. It's like splash. You know, Phoenix Splash. Pardon me. Oh, there we go. I was like, it's there. I know it's there. Phoenix Splash off the top rope. Like even the hit detection, you know, is still. It seems like Leap's better. There's like a little weirdness right there where he's kind of going through his arm, but again, it's video games, man. I mean, WWE 2K does like some similar stuff that's like a little strange. I'm like, it's fine, dude. I wish there was more footage. I know you just want to kind of get the story out. You know, I know you as a wrestling audience, you kind of want to just get this out, get people talking about the date, and maybe we could show more in the future. I know we do have, I believe there's a little more footage here, which I wanted to see. Yeah, so this is Adam Cole, and you could tell. That's really strange because, you know, Kenny Omega murdered Adam Cole a few years back, and then they resurrected him. But, like, right here, just as Dope Suicida, it's not bad. The collision detection, I feel like it's a lot better. I didn't notice as well, like the ramp kind of pushing back. Everything does seem a lot cleaner than it did before, so that is going to be very interesting. Now with DLC, do we get like official DLC from AEW and Yukes with the collision set, whatever that may be? Obviously, we don't know what it is because the show has not debuted yet. That's debuting June 17th, but it's going to be interesting to see where we go. Obviously, that section of the podcast is going to work a little better for visuals. So if you're listening, I'm sorry. Go over to youtube.com. You know, check us out. But yeah, this is a very interesting time for wrestling fans, for AEW fans specifically. This summer could possibly be the summer of AEW if all cards are played right and hit. There's a chance, you know, obviously, like I said, a lot of the build up for Double or Nothing this week, not amazing, but Double or Nothing itself, I guarantee you will be an amazing time. Then, you know, building up to the first episode of Collision, like where is that going to be? Is certain people coming back? You know, some people who look at their watch and scream it's clobbering time. Are they coming back? Is Collision going to be like a hard brand split? It's going to be a soft brand split. Then we have Forbidden Door. You know, Fight for the Fallen. ROH has their pay-per-view most likely this summer as well. You know, All In finally back after all these years. Now they have the moniker back at Wembley. They sold out Wembley Stadium. That's crazy. And then a week later, All Out. Like that's probably gonna be the toughest one since it's a week apart pay-per-view wise. But this is a really fun, interesting time for professional wrestling in general. You know, and video games as well. Not to mention in the fighting games fans, if you want to mentioned as AEW being a fighting game, which I would say so. I would count it as a fighting game, even though it's professional wrestling. You know, I would count it alongside. You have Fight Forever about to release. We had 2K23 release a couple months ago, which was actually really good. You have Fight Forever releasing, which I'm gonna say it's gonna be good. I'm predicting it's gonna be a good game. Then you have Tekken 8 sometime this year. You have Street Fighter 6 launching maybe a week or two before Fight Forever. And then as well, you have, Mortal Kombat 1 releasing in September. Like, if you are a fighting game fan, a wrestling fan, like I am, you have so many games you're going to be playing this year in just that space, in that combat space, right? And that's going to be very interesting to see, like, how these games play out, how the narrative goes around them. And again, I think this is going to be a hit for us as wrestling fans and video game fans. But what do you guys think? You know, let me know down below in the comment. Tweet at me. You see the handle right there if you're watching on video. Follow me on audio. And then this week is very packed for Nerd Day. Gonna be honest, we have a lot of content coming this week for Nerd Day, so please stay with me. I really appreciate it. This was a unplanned episode because, you know, the news came out. I had to react to AEW Fight Forever. So we have this today. Tomorrow we have a review, which I cannot remember what it's for, but we have a planned Nerd Day review coming out tomorrow. And then this week we're gonna have the debut of my brand new podcast, Chaos Bringers. That's right, my ladies and gentlemen, my non-binary folk out there. I'm very excited. Yeah, so tomorrow we have God of War Ragnarok review. Today we have Fight Forever details, and then this week we're gonna have Chaos Bringers, which is a long time coming. It's my brand new Final Fantasy retrospective podcast featuring two awesome people from Point of Progress, Harv and Frank, where we have episode 0 where we introduce ourselves to the audience and talk about our love of Final Fantasy, what Final Fantasy means to us, our favorite games, and kind of you guys get a basis of what our ideas are going to be moving forward for this series. And then later on, we're going to be playing, you know, we're going to go through the Final Fantasy games and go down there. And then this week as well, we're going to have a reaction to the PlayStation Showcase. So it's a very busy time. So I would really appreciate if you guys are all there with me. Thank you for your support in general. It means the world to me. I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Deuces.